Hey Yash, so semen retention, if you're single or if you're in a relationship, which is better, which is easier? Man, there's so many angles to this. There's so many factors. So I'll just speak spontaneous and see what comes out. When we're single, you can say on some level it's more difficult. Because when we're in a relationship, at least our attention, our energy can be channeled into the person that we're in a relationship with. I remember when I was like 22, 23, I had my first real good girlfriend, like there was some real love, true love and chemistry, and we just got along super good. And I told her, because before that, I was always looking, I was living in Los Angeles, Hollywood. And so anytime I walk down the street, I'm like looking, like who looks good, who thinks I look good, who am I interested in, all that stuff. And when I was with her, I told her after a few weeks, I'm like, man, it feels so good. Like I'm out on the market now. I'm not in this rat race of looking and like I'm just focused on you. She liked that. So that's one good thing. And if you're having sex, you're exchanging this energy, so this energy doesn't get pent up. See, that's what happens with a lot of people. The energy, it gets, especially if we're younger, starts building up, but then it goes down, and then it activates the sex organ, and the mind gets involved, and then comes all the edging and fantasy and everything, prostitutes or massage or porn or whatever. See, but if you have a girlfriend, when that energy starts to activate, you can have sex with her. Now, having sex without releasing, I've already made videos on that, so I feel like that would be, if I touch on that, it might make things more difficult. That's more advanced stuff. See, this is more basic and intermediate. So you're and it's okay. I mean, if somebody, if you have a girlfriend or wife and you're having sex and you ejaculate, it depends on your age and your health situation, but once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month. Once a month is pretty good. Then you're not gonna, it's not a big deal. You have to feel yourself, you have to feel. Your intuition will tell you how many times to release and how many times not to. But you have to get in touch with your intuition, so then it can tell you. Your body will tell you what it can handle. Because when you're doing it with your girlfriend or somebody you love, you're absorbing her energy. So it's not like you're losing your energy to some poisonous thing you're watching on the screen. Because looking at that stuff on the screen, that's taking your energy, because you're in this dark vortex, and you're losing your energy on top of that if you ejaculate. That's like double loss energy. So with a woman, if you're with her and you're having sex, you're kind of you're buffering that negative balance if you do ejaculate. And it depends also on your health. If you're robust and have really good genetics, then you have a good healthy lifestyle and diet, you can accumulate that energy back, pretty easy, as long as you're not losing it all the time. Because it's definitely harder for us to get that energy back when we're losing it all the time, and also when we get older. When we get older, it's like the body's dying. It's making everything. All the stuff the ingredients and chemistry it would make when we're younger, it's starting to make less. So we're getting ready to recede back into, you can say, the conscious, the formless self. And we all got to walk through that door called death of the body. Not death of us, death of the body. What are some other so-called pros and cons? I mean, if you're in a relationship, there can be a lot of drama. That can create a lot of stress, and that can activate the tendency to edge or do PMO even more, because you want to escape the stress. See, a lot of people get attached and they're in a relationship they can't get out, even though they need to. So that's something. When you're single, you don't have to answer to anybody. You don't hear no flack or slack. You just do what you want to do. So that can be a nice calm situation, because you don't have nobody. You're just chilling. You're living alone, and you do what you want to do. Maybe have friends on the side, women that you talk to on the phone or see, but you don't have any contract, any exclusive contract. you and me, like that, together forever. Don't look at anybody else. You know, you don't have that stress there. You don't have to check with somebody like when you're going out, or maybe you just want to go to India tomorrow. Just want to book a ticket and go. You don't need to check that with anything, you know. Money. You guys don't have to fight about money because it's just you. See, a lot of people get in relationships for economic security, you know, and I understand, like if you're living in America or somewhere that, I don't know, it's expensive there, you know. So then you almost, a lot of people, they feel they're forced to pair up so you can split the bills, but you're not matching in chemistry. So you guys fight and then argue, and each one wants, you know, so that can be dramatic. But if you're in a relationship and there's some real matching, some real chemistry, like I had when I was in my early 20s, and then I had a couple of times after that, I went like 12 years. After I had the really good first one, I went like 12 years without having that again. And then I got it twice again in a matter of like 4 or 5 years. Now I'm good. Like when I'm talking about is having that really good chemistry with each other. So the benefit of that is you see people, that's how you get addicted. People get addicted to love, emotional addiction and love addiction, because it's so intoxicating. You know, somebody can walk around, I don't have any energy, life sucks. And you get in a relationship with some karmic mate, you know, twin flame, people like that word. You get with somebody where there's instant chemistry, and you just come to life. You're like, your sense of aliveness just jumps. You're like, whoa, I'm alive. This is what it feels like to be alive? Cool. So you can taste that. That's a nice, and everybody should taste that. I mean, at some point, I don't think there's a choice. There's something that really, it's like you want to experience that. It's like the consciousness wants to experience what that feels like, to have this love with yourself in another form, and then to fuse and merge with that. That's what's happening. And that's one of the highlights of incarnating as in these human forms. The one pure consciousness diversifies itself and becomes all these different forms, and then these forms get to relate with one another as a seeming individual, separate, autonomous self. But really it's just the same self interacting with itself. But it's one of the, yeah, that's some real movie magic in this virtual reality game we're in, you know, because it feels really real. We have a different body. I'm a male body. There's a female body. I'm already half of the whole. She's half of the whole. So then when we connect, it's like really nice, you know. So if you have to experience that, it's okay. You will. You work on yourself. Don't be waiting and hungry for it, but you trust that God, the universe, is going to give that to you. It put that desire in you. It's going to fulfill it. But we have to just chill and let things unfold as they do. And the cleaner you get inside, the more conscious you get, the more higher level being you're going to attract. It works like that. A lot of times, though, the honeymoon stage, it's like that. It's just fireworks, everything. And then after that, it gets dramatic again. And then people can stay in that for years, waiting for the original honeymoon to return. And it doesn't. And so then that's one of the drawbacks of being in a relationship. And like I said, the more stress one has, and if you're already prone, we all have our little addiction habits that we're prone to. Some, if they feel stressed, they're going to go eat. Some are going to go get high. Some are going to go drink. Some are going to get into PMO or paying for sex or something. So if you're in a relationship that's causing a lot of stress, it's not easier then. Semen retention's not easier. But if you're single and you really desire a partner and you're practicing semen retention and all this energy's building, that's going to be stress too. You see, some people, God works this out, so you have to trust this. Some people, they get in a relationship and now they're grounded. They're like, they just needed to be in one. And their constitution is compatible for that. to use Ayurvedic language, like they're more kapha. They like to have a family and they like to have a mate and those things. So if they don't, they can become more restless and everything. And so then they get into a relationship and it's like they're doing their destiny. Whereas a different person, maybe Vata type, Ayurvedic word, they might feel the opposite. They're in a relationship and they feel pinned down. They feel like I can't breathe. I'm like stifling, suffocating, and I want to be free and all that. So then that can cause more stress, actually, if they're in a relationship. And then when they're single and they're just everything, they don't have to answer anybody, and they're just, taking care of themselves like that. They're like, this feels better. You have to let it be revealed what your constitution is and what your destiny really is, and then follow that. Now the habits are going to come up and addictions and try to complicate things. So this is the whole thing we have to transcend. We have to get clear. Semen retention will help you get clear so you can differentiate what's my real destiny or story and what isn't. See, when you know what your real destiny and story is, you follow that. And then these patterns in the mind's going to try to distract you and say, no, go this way. You're like, no, I know my unfoldment, natural unfoldment is this way. But for a while, we have to not know what our way is. You can't help it. So there's no way we can escape. It's like, this is the tax for playing this game. We have to come in, we don't know anything. I'm trying to find myself and everything. And then we start finding ourselves, and then it's like, okay, then it's more smooth sailing. But you can't just come in here from the get-go and everything just be easy, because then we wouldn't appreciate when it is easier. See, we got to go through this grind for a little bit, and the paradox is you have to be comfortable with that. Try to be comfortable with that. How do you be comfortable with that? You accept it. You accept this is life. This is the game I'm in. But that's the key word. You have to know it's a game. Then you don't take it so serious. It's a game, but it's also real. It has relative realness. I'm not dismissing it like some of these non-dual people. Nothing's real. There's a very strong apparent reality. Okay? So I hope that helps you. I hope you got something from that. Yeah, let me know. Okay.